It's a controversial word of sport. Our engineer Bosun is the studio manager this evening, and for 25 minutes or so, we are going to do it together. Well, let me start by telling you that the CAF Confederations Cup game between Rivers United and Motema Pembe has started. And the last time I checked, Rivers United had scored 2 goals. The match is going on at the Goswe Akpabio Stadium in Uyo. Paul Hakwa has scored a brace for Rivers United, and so it stands now Rivers United 2, Motema Pembe 0. Of course, if Rivers United should continue like this, they will top that group. So that's the latest from Uyo. Rivers United are leading Motema Pembe by 2-0. Well, we'll do a review of what happened yesterday in the UEFA Champions League. Tottenham also are out of the Champions League. Unexpectedly, PSG are also out of this season's UEFA Champions League. We have matches coming up later today in the Europa League. Arsenal and Manchester United, of course, will be in action later today. So we'll do a comprehensive preview to those games coming up later tonight in the UEFA Europa League. My name is Tobi Akintola once again, and welcome. Well, let me tell you that the Nigerian 23 boys, that's Olympic Eagles, will now host their Guinean counterpart at the Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja on Wednesday, 22nd March, in the final round of the qualifiers for this year's African Under-23 Cup of Nations. The game was earlier scheduled for the Lekon Salami Stadium, Madama Sigba Ibadan. But the match has now been moved to Abuja. Well, to reach this stage of the series, the 1996 champions defeated the Tanzania Under-23 team 3-1 on aggregate in October 2022, winning 2-0 at the Lekon Salami Stadium in Ibadan, after both teams stalemated the first leg in Dar es Salaam 1-1. Well, the winner over 2 legs between Nigeria and Guinea will advance to the finals of the African Under-23 Cup of Nations scheduled to be hosted by Morocco later in the year. We also had the tournament in Morocco that Africa's flag bearers at next year's men's Olympic football tournament in Paris will emerge. But the return leg against the Guineans will be in Morocco on Monday, 27th March 2023. Well, if you miss this month's edition of Sports Lane, let me give you the fixtures that we're expecting tonight in the UEFA Europa League. Bayer Leverkusen will take on Ferencváros. The match time for that game is 6:45 p.m. Nigerian time. Roma will take on Real Sociedad. Sporting CP will take on Arsenal. At 9 p.m., Juventus will take on Freiburg. At Old Trafford, Manchester United will take on Real Betis. Sevilla will take on Fenerbahce. The last game is between Shakhtar Donetsk and Feyenoord. In the UEFA Europa Conference, ACK Lanika will take on West Ham United from England. Anderlecht will take on Villarreal. FC Sheriff will take on Nice. Those games will be played at 6:45 p.m. Nigerian time. At 9 p.m. Basel will take on Sloval Bratislava. Fiorentina will take on Sivasspor. Gent will take on Istanbul Beersheva. So out of the Europa League games tonight, we'll be doing a preview of just 2 games. The game between Sporting CP and Arsenal, and of course Manchester United at home to Real Betis. Well, let me start from the game coming up in Portugal between Sporting CP and Arsenal. Well, resuming their quest for an elusive continental crown, Arsenal traveled to the Estadio Jose Alvalade Stadium for the first leg of their Europa League last season clash with Sporting Lisbon on Thursday night. Well, the Gunners progress as winners from Group A to set up a tie with Ruben Amorim's former Champions League contenders, who dish out a 5-1 beating to FC Midtjylland in the playoff. Already familiar with North London after doing battle with Tottenham Hotspur during the group stage of the Champions League, Sporting's efforts to peep Sports and entrance Frankfurt to a top 2 spot prove futile as they settle for a third place belt and spot in Europe's second tier tournament as a result. Well, for Arsenal, since last taking to the field in continental competition, Mikel Arteta's young guns have managed to keep Manchester City at bay in the English top flight and hold a 5-point gap at the top of the Premier League. When en route to a final in 2018-2019 season, Arsenal edged past Sporting 1-0 during the group stage thanks to Danny Welbeck's winner in Portugal. And a subsequent goalless draw at the Emirates Stadium made it 4 games without a win or goal for the Portuguese club. Let me now go to the team news. Well, Sporting's second leg thrashing of Midtjylland in the playoff round was not the perfect after all, as midfielder Male Lugat picked up his third European booking and we missed tonight's game due to suspension. With Daniel Bragueja still recovering from a ruptured cruciate ligament, when 19-year-old Argentina starlet, that's Matthew Talogo, should come in for the start alongside the Udinese Morita. But Hector Bellerin will likely start on the bench against his old club. But don't forget, Hector Bellerin used to play for Arsenal Football Club before he moved to Spain. As for Arsenal, Arteta is at risk of being without any of his 3 recognized central attacking options after Leandro Trossard came off with a groin problem the first half of their win over Bournemouth. Well, initial assessments has ruled out a serious injury, but the Belgian is likely to miss out on this one. Gabriel Jesus and Mohamed Elneny, while Eddie Nketiah's ankle problem is unlikely to heal in time for the first leg either. Well, this means that Gabriel Martinelli should therefore shoulder the goal-scoring burden in the number 9 spot. Arteta will be tempted to shuffle the pack some more as Martune is unlikely to be involved due to illness. Other Quarantena will not be involved tonight because of illness. So we expect Matsuna to be the first, to be the goalkeeper for Arsenal when they take on the Sporting CP today. Aaron Ramsey is likely to be rested for that one. Well, the second game we'll be talking about is between Manchester United and Real Betis. The time for that game is 9 p.m. Nigerian time at Old Trafford. Well, with the nightmare of the Anfield mauling still fresh in their memory, Manchester United returned to Europa League. Let me give you the team news ahead of that game. Coming up tonight at Old Trafford, 9 p.m. Nigerian time is the time. We're still coping with our long-time absentees, Donny van der Beek and Christian Eriksen. Manchester United have also been dealt with a blow with Marcel Sabitzer, who is absent from the squad. But Casemiro has seemingly shaken off a scare from Liverpool loss. Well, the Brazilian will be assessed ahead of kickoff alongside Victor Lindelof, who missed Sunday's defeat with a minor unspecified problem. While Ten Hag is refusing to put a time frame on Anthony Martial's recovery as he battles a hip injury. Well, the refresh should certainly be in order after such a humble evening against Liverpool with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire and Tyrone Malacia potentially coming into the starting lineup. But that's especially with Luke Shaw and Raphael Varane emerging as doubt for the kickoff this weekend. While Real Betis boss Male Pellegrini recently suffered with key attacker Naby Fekir as the Frenchman who was recently linked with Manchester United has been ruled out for the remainder of the season. That's because of an anterior cruciate ligament injury. Well, midfielder Joan Cruz is also expected to miss out after exacerbating an insisting muscular injury. But Sadio Canales should be back in the squad tonight. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello, can you hear me? Hello. Can you speak up a bit, Victor? Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, good evening. Thank you so very much for joining us, Jejenua Victor. Okay. Hello. Can you hear me? Okay, let's talk about the Europa League game tonight. Okay, let's talk about the Champions League yesterday. Spurs against AC Milan. Any surprise for you? Spurs not going through to the quarterfinals. Hello. Hello, Victor. Well, I'm still hoping to get connected with Victor Jejenua. time for the game between Sporting CP and Arsenal is 6:45 p.m. Nigerian time. While Manchester United will take on Real Betis, the time for that match is 9 p.m. Nigerian time. Victor.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Sorry, the network was acting up with it.
Okay. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, let's talk. We have just 6 minutes or so before the end of this program. Let's talk about the games yesterday in the UEFA Champions League. Spurs, they played a goalless draw at home to AC Milan, and they're out of the Champions League. Any surprise for you?
Well, you could argue for that performance, that result, that it wouldn't be much of a surprise to most people because they've been abysmal this season. Consider when they play with Conte on the touchline. I don't know why it's like that. They've been really abysmal. Yeah. When Stellini has handled the team, I think they've played better football. So it was as expected. It would have been much of a surprise if they had to come through.
Okay, Bayern Munich, they did a double over PSG. Don't forget, 3 weeks ago, they defeated PSG away from home. Last night, they beat PSG again 2-0. This time around at the Allianz Arena. PSG have been struggling. They want to win in Champions. It's like that trophy has been elusive for them.
Yes, I think the sporting project for PSG, while taking over, has been winning the Champions League.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any different from. It's very similar to Manchester City, and the Champions League has been their ultimate aim for the past couple of seasons. However, they have been very unfortunate. In fact, this season they are out of the Champions League round of 16.
Yes.
And I don't think it's because they lack manpower. Don't forget, they have an aging squad too. Most of their senior players are way above 30, and so they have to build. I think they have to build a squad around very enterprising French players, young French players around. And instead of going out and sourcing 38,
Victor, do you think the injury to Neymar has affected PSG? Neymar is out of the rest of the season.
Neymar has been instrumental this season, but you can't argue for Bayern Munich, argue against Bayern Munich's performance. They've been well trained. The performance was top notch. You see, Musiala plays football like a 20-something-year-old chap. I think when you've got a well-trained team, a team that's been performing well for the past couple of weeks, unlike PSG. PSG has been performing poorly domestically too. So you really don't. I didn't see them winning yesterday, and it happened. Bayern and through. PSG are out.
Okay. Let's talk about the Europa League. Let me start from Manchester United. You're a Manchester United fan. After the 7-0 beating from Liverpool on Sunday, this is the first game United will play after that drubbing. They play at home to Real Betis in the Europa League. Casemiro is fit for that one. That's according to boss Eritrea. Do you think United will be able to shake off that defeat and beat? Because Europa League is also a good trophy. I mean, United can also win it.
Yeah, on Monday I said something about Eric Ten Hag. He has got this ability to turn situations. He's been in this situation before, and Manchester United have been in this situation before, and they have turned it around in good fashion. So you look at Real Betis; they haven't. This is the first competitive game they are playing against Manchester United, and against English teams, they've got a very poor record too. I think they've won just once in the past 5 or 6 meetings.
Yes.
And when you look at records in football, I think they count too. Yeah. But we are coming up against an old pro in Manuel Pellegrini.
Yes.
So you have to consider that Manuel Pellegrini also has a very good record against Manchester United.
Yeah.
So it's either way tonight. But I think the game can't come any sooner for Manchester United to really respond to the 7-0 demolition at Liverpool.
So you think you are going to beat because if United beat Real Betis today, it will make the attacks a bit easier. I'm going to the second leg.
Well, it has to come up with morale and psychology tonight. If they've got the mentality to bounce back, I think Real Betis are there for the taking. Okay. If you look at domestically, they've scored 8 goals and shipped in 3 goals, 4 or 5 goals in the last 3 games. So I think we've got a chance against them.
Okay, we have just a minute. Sporting CP hosting Arsenal. Your prediction for that game?
That's another interesting game tonight because Sporting has also bad record against Arsenal. In the past 4 meetings, they haven't won, and to make it worse, they haven't scored a single goal. So with the form Arsenal on, I think I don't think I know for sure unless there is a massive turn in the game of football tonight. Arsenal should be through. Not just win tonight. Arsenal should be through tonight.
Okay. Victor Adejeniwa, thank you so very much for joining us on the evening edition of Sports Link for today.
Oh, my pleasure, Tobi, always.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Well, that was Victor Adejeniwa. Well, that's all we have time for today's second part of Sports Link for today. On behalf of my studio manager, Engineer Bosun, and my friend in charge of our social media side, David Olaniyo. Yesterday I called him Daniel, but it's David Olaniyo. My name is Tobi Akintola. I'm your sports bar. Join me tomorrow for Sports Lane. Ogba Sports will be here by 9 a.m. By 9:40, I will do Sports Lane.